What's up, YouTube? Knight's Edge here again. Got another quick little overview review for you today of a pretty cool knife. This one was loaned to me. Almost forgot to put my hands in the video. Wow. Whew. I was just gonna sit here and talk for a minute. Yep, grab the knife. Not a good idea. I might edit this out. Who knows? Might not. Anyway, pretty cool knife review for you today of one loaned to me by none other than Iowa AK, all the way from up in Iowa. This is where this one comes from. Really appreciate Iowa. His channel should be linked right up here somewhere in this general vicinity. If you guys want to go check him out, go subscribe, check his content out. He's always doing lives, outdoors, ice fishing, stuff like that. Pretty cool. So big shout out to him. And if you like the content, if you like this video and you want to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Subscribe buttons should be right down there somewhere. Really appreciate that. Thanks to all my channel members, Patreon subscribers. You guys are awesome. And without further ado, this is the Benchmade Shootout, an OTF, right, from Benchmade. Now this one is a little bit different than most OTFs I've had the chance to handle. Most of them tend to border on like the more tactical, I guess, aspect, cool factor or whatever. Not to say that this one isn't cool, but this one seems to be a little bit more utilitarian, I guess you could say. I know that's kind of a cliche word nowadays in the knife community, but yeah, very useful knife. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and do what we normally do. We'll do the specs, overall measurements, all that stuff. So from the tip of the blade to the end of the handle, you're looking right at 8 1/4, a little under 8 1/4, I guess. About 8 1/8 maybe. And overall length, he did do a glass breaker delete on this from OCD for EDC, I believe. If I got my facts straight on that, let me know in the comments if I didn't. Iowa, if you're watching this. But yeah, so overall length without the glass breaker, 8 1/8, and the blade length overall from the tip of the blade to right around where it goes into the handle at. I mean, it's how it's OTF. You're looking at 3.5 inches on that. This is a Tonto blade shape, so you got 1 inch if you measure it there, and if you measure it with that 1 inch there, you got that as your what I would call primary edge. Secondary edge, I would say right around 2 5/8, a little bit longer if you measure it like that, right? All right. Let's go ahead and do a blade stock thickness check. Got the calibers, so you're looking at fairly thin blade stock, I would say, right around 88.5 thousandths, thickest part of the spine. Behind the edge, on this edge anyway, 21.5 thousandths there, and it does kind of swedge down, I guess, a little bit here. Right where it starts swedging down, you know, getting smaller, you're looking at around 40 thousandths. And your handle thickness, 474 is what I got right there, so under 1/2 inch for handle thickness. Really good measurements there. And that, I guess that tip would be my guess, it's kind of swedged down like that on a lot of knives. You can find that a little bit, kind of makes it a little bit more robust, I guess you could say. Alright, so let's go ahead and do some size comparisons on this one. Get out some of the usual suspects here. You got the Ontario Knives Rat Model 1 and your Ontario Knives Rat Model 2. Alright, so kind of right in between the two, I guess. Almost as long as the Rat 1, but not quite. Put up the usual suspects here. And next up, you got the Cold Steel Knives 8010 and your Demco knives 80-20.5. That is the slicer variant, so more cutting edge than the slicer. 80-20.5, not quite as much cutting edge as the 8010 Cold Steel. Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and here is your Spyderco Para 3. More cutting edge than both of those, pretty sure. Alright, yep. Alright, let's do some randoms here. Here you got the Vosteed Knives Raccoon. top liner lock raccoon, and your CJRB Pirate Light. Sorry, y'all, it's been a long day. Alright, so that's it compared to those two. Alright, a couple more. Here's another Benchmade, the only other Benchmade that I currently have in my possession. The only Benchmade I own, that is the Griptilian, the full-size Griptilian. And here is the mini RSK MK1 Ritter Hogue. Oh, that one's that one. That one's not wanting to fold in all the way. Alright, let's do a couple more OTFs in similar size that I have here. That is the Microtech Ultratech. And this, of course, is the Microtech Dirac Delta. So overall, even minus the glass breaker, it's still a good bit shorter than the Dirac Delta. And if you minus the glass breaker on the Ultratech, it is right there, right at the same as the Ultratech. A little more broad and thinner blade stock than the Ultratech, but right around the same overall length deployed. So that is it. Oh wait, no, let me do. Gotta do these right. Always. That is your DeWalt framing hammer. I can get it within the frame of the video, would be pretty cool. And here is your USA made 8-inch crescent wrench, a must have for size comparisons on any knife channel, I think, right? Alright, so did the size comparisons. Let's weigh this bad boy because I'm really curious to see this. This thing is pretty light. I might have weighed it in the unboxing, but I can't remember if I did or not. So let's go ahead and check it. I'm guessing around 2.5 ounces, maybe 2.7. Okay, around 2.7 ounces. So under the ounce and inch ratio for sure. Fairly light for its size. Carries really well in pocket, I would have to say. Speaking of, here is the old worn out blue jeans. Alright, deep carry there, so you got the Benchmade logo sticking out of your pocket there. That's about it, right? So no issues with the way that this thing carries at all, for me anyway. This thing always, I gotta get some more blue jeans, y'all. Hold on. Had to get that lint out of there, so it tends to want to kind of, any pocket clip really tends to want to grab that nowadays. So but yeah, it carries really well in pocket. It is left or right handed, so really a fully ambidextrous knife, right? I'm left handed, I can very easily deploy it. So yeah, it is fully ambidextrous. Let's see, let's go with, let's do a hardware check here. I'm thinking T8, but I'm not sure. It might be T6 on the, is it? Yep. I'll go with T6. Check out the T6 here. Yeah, alright, so T6 on the body hardware and on the clip hardware, which is, wish it was T8, you know, but they tend to strip a little less. But good that they don't have proprietary hardware on here. I would say, even though the kind of proprietary hardware like Microtech tends to use is a little cooler looking, you know, you don't have to get anything special to take it apart. So that's pretty much it for specs. Overall, this thing deploys really good. This switch is kind of absurdly, you know, pointed straight up like that compared to like kind of the Ultratech switch, which is a little less, doesn't stick out or up quite as much, but I think that kind of gives you an advantage whenever you're deploying it. It does to me anyway. And this thing I've probably deployed it about 100 times maybe. It hasn't failed yet at all, which is pretty awesome. So definitely points for that. Ergonomically feels pretty good in hand. No jimping on the back here, but it definitely is pretty comfortable in hand, really. Surprisingly, they really did that FRN plastic, whatever you want to call it, really well. And again, fully enclosed, so you don't really have to worry about trash too much. If you get something in there, From what I've seen, you can use compressed air to kind of blow it out, and spray a little bit of rim oil in there. Will kind of help you out a little bit there. And that's pretty much it. Unless you get something major jammed or stuck in there, I don't really see this failing too much. At least not this one that I got anyway. A little bit of a grittiness right here on both sides, which that kind of helps, I guess, if you're kind of maybe doing like a pinch, pull, cut, something like that, or choked all the way up on it maybe. Definitely a grippy knife, similar, I guess, to the Griptilian in that way. It is locked in hand, which is pretty good. This is CPM crew wear on the blade on this one. I think they come in a couple of different blade steels. Now, one of the things, and probably my only really gripe about this one, is the price. I mean, this one, you're looking at crew wear, which is a great steel, USA made. Had to keep that in mind, but it's also FRN on the knife the rest of the way around, and it's still going for around $325, which is kind of crazy to me. You know, it is a really nice double action OTF, but Benchmade prices are just creeping up and up and up. I mean, a lot of prices are, but to me, Benchmade kind of seems to be a little less reasonable on the price front. I think that should be probably maybe like a $250 knife. It could compete with Livewire maybe at that rate, but totally different knife though. Style, I guess you could say. The Livewire, the Ultratech, Direct Delta, those are more geared towards kind of like tactical, you know, and the chassis or not the chassis, but the housings, aluminum, you know, kind of a more of like a tactical kind of vibe. This to me is a lot more useful for kind of everyday carry. If you're going to cut rope, if you're going to cut through boxes, packages, stuff like that. And compared to like a dagger ground, a lot easier to sharpen, I think. I can actuate it with my index finger with ease, that's saying a lot. Can I do it left-handed? Let's see. Let's check it out. Yep, I can still do it left-handed with my index finger, so that speaks volumes to me. I mean, it's really smooth to actuate. Yeah, it's very loud. It does have kind of like that hollow plastic kind of sound about it whenever you actuate it. It's not silent at all. That's the Ultratech. That's the Shootout. So yeah, a little louder. That plastic kind of echoes and stuff a little more. But yeah, overall, great knife. I just wish the price was a little bit less. But I definitely have enjoyed my time with it, and I really appreciate Iowa AK for loaning me this knife. Really super awesome knife. And you guys definitely go, if you get a chance, check his channel out. He's got some great stuff on there. This one also, along with the crew wear, is kind of like a Cerakoted FDE, flat dark earth kind of color. And you got that kind of colorization on the thumb switch there, which, I mean, that can't be ignored. That's a nice little touch, I think. So, yeah, overall, a good knife. It's overpriced, you know, in my book. I'm not going to put it on my most recommended knives playlist, but it's not bad at all. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. So again, thanks Iowa. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about the knife in the comments there. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments about the price with it being a Benchmade and all that, and I would tend to agree for the most part on that. It is a little overpriced. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your morning, evening, night, noon, whenever you're watching this, and y'all stay sharp.